Hey, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Yoga Church Digital. We're so grateful that you could come and join us for this time. Take a moment of pause and refreshing and relaxation to kind of tune in to your higher power and break away from all the craziness of the world. And we're grateful to be able to provide this time for you and with you. And we want to begin by just inviting you to tell us where you are and who you are and how you are. It's really cool. We get to connect with people all over the country for sure, and even all over the world. We've had people joining us over from the UK and Africa and Pakistan and all kind of really awesome places. So we're grateful to be part of this global community and to be part of this. And those of you that'll join, we know a lot of people join in times when it works for you. So we know a lot of people come in later and enjoy the practice that way. And we appreciate the ability to do that as well. So whenever you're joining and from wherever you are, we're just grateful to have you. If you're able, put in the comment section. We'd love to know your name and where you are and who you are and how you're doing today. So I want to share a brief little devotional before I turn it over to Karen to lead us in this time from the Christian scriptures. Please don't get freaked out by that, okay? You don't have to be a Christian to be a part of Yoga Church Digital. But if you're spiritual but not religious, spiritually open, anywhere in that spectrum, then we hope that this will be something that blesses you, that's good for your soul. And I've been thinking about this statement, spread the love, spread the love. And this is a statement that my friends and I growing up, we used to say this. When there was something really good, we would use that phrase, spread the love. Anybody out there ever used that phrase yourself? So if one of us came back from the corner store and we had a bag full of candy, some Laffy Taffy or something, we'd say, spread the love, man. Share that, spread that around. Don't keep that to yourself. Or if somebody had a new video game that we wanted to play, we'd say, spread the love. Give me a chance to experience that. And I could just go on and on. When something is good and beautiful and true, we have this desire, like, to share into that, right? And deep underneath in our true selves, really, it's this universal longing that we have to share things that are good and beautiful and true. Now, I think over time, the world kind of warps us and we get kind of deformed spiritually and we become selfish and we want to hold on to things and rather than spread and share and be kind of generous. But that innate desire is there, right? To spread and to share good things into the world. And I believe that right now, friends, as we kind of just continue to live through this pandemic situation that has a really long tail and implications that we don't really fully understand and won't fully understand probably for quite a while. I believe it's really important that we find in ourselves to spread and to share things that are good and beautiful and true. We have a world that's really hungry, that's saying, spread the love, like share the love here. We need some goodness. We need some love. It's interesting to me when I look in the Christian scriptures in the book of Acts in the 6th chapter, that even back then, the church was having some problems and some issues. One of our great poets of our age, Biggie Smalls, the Slain rapper, aka Big Papa, he had a phrase he liked to say and sing, more money, more problems. And some of us can say amen to that, right? But I also believe more mission, more problems. The more that we really try to set our feet in the way of God to become a stream of blessing and love in the world, we're going to face challenges as we do that. And the early church was facing that in the book of Acts in the 6th chapter, and they were trying to just feed people and provide food for everyone. This was part of their community. And it was really very different than Roman society, which had this social strata. And if you were high up here, you didn't eat with people that were down there. that there was this clearly defined way that you went about things. Guys, stop it. I got two pugs here joining me for yoga church this morning. So this Christian community was really radical. It was like rich, poor, low, high, no matter where they were in the social strata, that they were coming together as equals, and they found ways to adapt and to adjust. And so in Acts 6, they go, we got all these people to feed. Some of us need to do this work of praying and preaching and doing those kind of things. Some of us need to do this work of feeding and serving at the table and doing that kind of work. And they come together, they reorganize, and they find a way to spread the love. And they say, here's how it happens. Each one of us has to take responsibility. Each one of us has a role to play in spreading the love. It's not that some just receive it while others produce it, but in this community, we all have the joy and the honor and the privilege to spread the love and to be a vehicle and an instrument that spreads beauty and goodness and truth in the world, and a world that's hungry, saying, come on, share something good with me, share the love. We have a way to do that. And when we gather in yoga church, I think that's what we're doing. We're trying to spread the love. We're just trying to bless people. There's no strings attached. There's no money involved. There's none of that. It's just Karen and I have a desire and a heart to share something that will bless you, something that will be a time of refreshing for you, no matter who you are or where you are. And so that's really what this is all about. So as I kind of tune in and join into the practice today, I'm going to be thinking about, how do I fill myself with that love so that I have something to share? How do I kind of live in that posture so that I can become a stream of that out into the world? So thanks everybody for joining this morning, and I'm going to turn it over to Karen.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning and welcome to Yoga Church. Let us begin with the heart of yoga, which is breath. Sit in your most comfortable position, close your eyes, and just begin to breathe, being aware of your breath, what's happening as you inhale and what's happening as you exhale, and just clearing your mind of any clutter, any negativity, anything that's just taking up too much space in your mind. Just clear it so that you can focus on whatever it is that your heart, your soul, your mind is speaking to you. And that would be your intention for your practice today. So let us find that intention, or maybe it's just a time to just be still without anything to think about. Just be free of all thoughts, of anything that is bothering you, of any negativity, any expectations. Let us just breathe and let this practice be for you to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit. I encourage you to go into a purifying breath where you inhale as deep as you can in through the nose, and then exhale an even longer breath, exhaling through the mouth, renewing all the old air for new air. Let us continue to breathe. Maybe you breathe in something positive, and as you exhale, just exhale anything negative away. Use your breath to guide you through your practice, not only physically, but spiritually as well. Let us return to normal breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. As we open our eyes, sit nice and tall. Take your arms out long with your palms up. Inhale to float your hands up, and exhale, hands over heart center, and namaste. Inhale to float the hands up, reach the fingers long, arms long, floating the fingers down. Moving with breath, inhaling and exhaling, maybe nodding the chin. Maybe gazing up, big stretches here. Inhaling and exhaling with each stretch. Inhale, exhale, float your arms out as long as you can, floating your fingertips softly down to your mat. As we go into our side stretches, lifting that left palm up, reaching up for strength and over for flexibility. Alternating sides and moving slowly with your breath. Know that this is your practice today. So if there's something that I'm doing that just doesn't feel right for you, then change it up, modify, do what feels good for you. Remember to listen to your body and to remember that this is your practice. And do try to let your breath guide you through your movement. It helps you to move more freely. One more big side stretch up and over, and just rest your hands by your side as we go into shoulder rolls to the back with breath. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, lift your shoulders up towards your earlobes, around to the back and down. Inhaling and exhaling with each shoulder roll to the back. One more big shoulder roll, leaving your shoulders down away from your ears, growing tall through the crown of the head. Let's stretch the back of the neck. Let your chin come down to your chest. Let your spine be long, and let your head be heavy. And feel the stretch of the back of the neck as your head gets heavier and heavier. With your eyes closed and your chin on your chest, go on and let the rest of your spine go by letting your rib cage cave in, letting your shoulders round forward, letting your head get heavier and heavier as your spine opens up. And we go into half neck circles. Inhale, exhale, and bring your chin up to your left shoulder. When you get there, sit as tall as you can. As we once again drop our chin to our chest, rounding our spine on our inhale. On the exhale, come up to the right shoulder and go as tall as you can. Let's do 3 more half neck circles in slow motion. Inhaling and exhaling, working with your spine, working with your neck. Inhale and exhale. And last half neck circle. Inhale and exhale. Sit nice and tall. Bring your gaze back to the center. Let's go into some spinal rotation, but before we do, be sure your knees are bent so you can have folded legs like me, or maybe you prefer to bring your feet out. A little bend in the knees will help to protect the spine. We're going to take our left hand over to our right knee to get a little bit taller, and then go on and take your right hand around to the back of your mat, lifting your heart, lifting your rib cage, and breathing as deep as you can, so deep on that inhale. You feel your lung and your rib cage expand. On the next breath, slowly come around to the center as we slowly rotate to the other side, switching our hand grip, remembering to lift your heart, lift your gaze, and to breathe as deep as you can. Inhale, and on the exhale, slowly come back around to the center. Let's straighten out that left leg for a single leg staff pose. So your right knee is bent and your left leg is straight. You can stay here, or maybe you float your hands up or reach as high as you can and hinge 2 or 3 inches, where maybe you just pause and stay here. Or if your body allows you to, as long as you don't have any lower back issues, maybe you begin a forward fold. Reaching your fingers towards your toes, letting your nose fall towards your knees. Let us breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, slowly roll the spine up, articulating the spine by stacking one vertebra on top of the other at a time. As we pull that left sole of the foot in for a nice little seated butterfly, You can push your feet away if you have lower back issues. Grab hold either to your ankles, your shins, your knees, whatever feels good for your body. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears and sit as tall as you can in butterfly or cobra pose. Maybe you stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, as you hinge forward with a very long spine, let your elbows float over your inner knees, gently press them. Nod your chin and let your nose fall toward your feet. Gentle pressing of the knees will open up the lower back, relax the shoulders, and breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, once again, articulating the spine back up to tall spine. Let's straighten out that right leg for half staff pose on this side, sitting nice and tall, and you're in half staff pose. Maybe you float your fingertips up, feel the energy flow through your fingers as you hinge 2 or 3 inches. Maybe you stay here with a wonderful stretch to the whole body here. Or you can join me to go a little bit deeper with a forward fold, reaching your toes towards the sides of your feet, letting your nose fall towards your knee, and breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, slowly roll the spine back up to tall spine, coming back into your cobra pose, either feet out or feet in. We also call it butterfly pose. Hold on wherever it's comfortable for you. If you can hold on to your knees, that's even better as we go into seated cat and cow using your hand grip. Hinge forward, press the chest through, lift the heart, lift the gaze, and fill the lungs up with air. And then on the exhale, begin to round back like an angry cat. Exhale. Inhale forward, rolling through the spine, filling the lungs up with air, and exhale into seated cat pose. 2 more sets. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And come back up into tall spine as we go into some small upper body circles. Maybe rounding the spine as you go to the back, and maybe lifting the heart as you come forward, or maybe not. Listen to your body, listen to your spine. We're just warming up that spine before we continue and get into our vinyasas. We want to be sure that everything is loose and warmed up. Let us switch the direction of our circles. Maybe you just do little circles. That's just as effective. Let your breath guide your movement. Inhale, exhale. One more big circle. Let's bring our knees together. Let's transition onto our hands and knees for a kneeling cat and cow. I think we can move a little bit better on our knees. And if you have wrist issues, you can come down to your elbows, or even shoulder issues. Otherwise, wrists are under the shoulders, wrists, knees, and feet are all in alignment. We'll move into angry cat pose. Nod your chin, pull your belly into your spine, separate your shoulder blades. And as we move into cow pose, soften the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, let the belly fall towards the earth. Lift your gaze and inhale. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale. Inhale. Joseph Pilates called these waves. So imagine that your spine is like a wave. You're just rolling through your spine. Exhale and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And come back to flat back. We're going to drop into an extended child's pose. So uncurl your toes. Drop your buttocks to your heels. Extend your arms from your shoulders, drop your elbows, drop your forehead, and you're in extended child's pose. You can come here at any time during your practice for a little break if you need one. Let us breathe 3 breaths in extended child's pose. So we're going to move into something a little bit different called a piece of heaven.
So we will keep our arms extended. The farther you can walk your fingers away from your shoulders, the easier a piece of heaven will be. So you're going to come up
Onto your hands and knees, only to drop your chest all the way down into Cobra. And as you come up into Cobra, you press back into Child's Pose. So you're basically just going back and forth from Cobra into Child's Pose. Now, if that doesn't feel right for your body, you can modify it. You can make it a little bit smaller range of motion. So you're going only halfway down and halfway back. Or maybe it does feel good for you to go all the way back and all the way forward. Be sure that you drop your chest all the way down to the mat if you're doing a full piece of that. Press up and back. Let us do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take it into a traditional child's pose. Big toes come together, knees separate, forehead comes down to the mat, and hands come back by your ankles, palms up. It's okay to use a pillow or a block under your forehead here, or if you don't have one, maybe you make a pillow with your fist. Either way works. It should be a very comfortable, relaxing pose. Inhale. On the exhale, come on back to hands and knees. As we separate our knees as wide as our shoulders, let's straighten out our right leg and then extend your left arm. See if you can float your left arm up and your right leg up. This is called bird dog. And then from here, we can just tap up and reach. Tap up and reach. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale and just hold here. Feeling the energy. Maybe flip your thumb up. Feel the energy going through your fingertips and through the sole of that left foot and just breathe. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Drop the hand, drop the knee. Let's go into a child's pose for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, separate the knees as we straighten out that left leg and that right hand extends out in front. Can you float your right arm up and your left leg up with a flexed foot? Maybe you bring your thumb up for a little more challenge here and then drop down and reach up. Drop down and reach up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. And exhale, and last one. And we hold if you can. So the longer you can reach your arm and lifted leg, the more your body will benefit from this bird dog pose or plank. On the next breath, drop the hand, drop the knees, curl the toes under to stretch the soles of the feet as we go into a bent knee plank. You're just going to lift your knees up about 2 inches as you separate your shoulder blades, transition your body weight through your whole body. And from here, we can lift our knees and our sits bones into downward dog. Let your gaze go to your knees. If downward dog's not for you, you can always do child's pose as an option. Let us begin pedaling. So right heel goes down, left, right, left, right, left, right. Both heels go down. Lift both heels up. Drop into a full plank. Now, it's okay if you drop your knees here or not. So from plank, we're going to lower ourselves all the way down into that cobra. Uncurl the toes, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Be careful if you have lower back issues. You would only lift a couple of inches. And from here, we're going back into downward dog. So we can move a little bit quicker here. We can go into cobra and then back into downward dog. Let's do a few more like that, just warming up the spine. Cobra and downward dog. And 2 more. Cobra and downward dog. And last one, cobra and downward dog. From here, you can either walk forward or hop forward into a standing forward fold. So here we go. You can bend your knees here. Just be sure the crown of the head is facing the floor and that your eyes and nose are facing your knees. And then maybe you bend your knees, maybe you straighten your legs. It's your body. We all move differently because we're all built differently. Just hang down there like a rag doll. Just let the arms hang. And if you want a little bit more, maybe you can wiggle side to side. And then go on and take your big toes out, and then your heels, big toes. Now maybe you just stay here, hang down, relax, or drop into a deep runner squat or a deep yogi squat. So here, it's important to try to keep your heels down, lift your heart, close your eyes. This is a very restorative pose here. Let us hold it for 5 breaths. Whenever we're holding any of our poses for 3 breaths, 2 breaths, 5 breaths, whatever it is, it's a time that you can focus or meditate on your intention, or maybe just be in the moment, be still. Let us breathe. On the next breath, if you're in this deep squat, drop your hands. You're going to swing your heels out so that your feet are parallel and tuck your chin. And then slowly begin to roll up. So wherever you are in your forward fold, slow, slow, slow coming up so you don't get dizzy. One vertebra on top of the other. Inhale to float the hands up and exhale, hands over, heart center. I'm going to turn to face the long side of my mat. As we go into a good morning pose, just separate your feet wider than your shoulders and let your arms be long in a T. This is actually called standing straddle split. Hands halfway over. There you go. You're on your good morning stretch, elongating through the arms, through the spine, neck, legs, everything, or as long as you can make it. You can stay here or join me for revolving triangle, dropping the left fingers or hands under the heart as you float the right hand and gaze up to the ceiling. And then come back as we transition to the other side, dropping the right fingers or hand under the heart, left hand and gaze go up to the ceiling. And then come on back. And then hinge all the way back up. Float your hands up. Let's go into some moonflowers, which is all about breath. It's okay to turn your toes out just a little bit as long as you don't have any knee injuries. Inhale to take the elbows in and exhale to come out. So modify would be little. If you have any knee issues or lower back issues, you need to listen to your body and modify. If you want a little bit more, a little bit deeper, come a little bit deeper with me. Inhale and exhale. Now we can take it in some big sunflowers. Just make a sunflower with your hand. Let's do 2 more sunflowers. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Float your arms back out into standing straddle split, palms down. Go on and turn your right foot out to the side and your left foot is straight forward. So the wider your feet are, the more you're going to get out of this warrior 2 pose. Rotate your upper body to look down your left hand. Maybe you seek down a little lower, maybe not. It's okay not to bend your knee. It's your practice, so you should do what feels good for your body. Warrior 2, let's pause for 3 breaths here. Oops. Inhale and exhale. Peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, flip the front palm up, reach up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky, lift up into the back, or only as far as it feels good for your body. Let us breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, we're going to bring that elbow to that bent knee as you float your back hand up into side angle, or maybe you prefer side extended angle. It's up to you. Gaze down to your big toe to protect your neck. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to windmill this top hand down as we turn our back foot forward into a deep runner's lunge. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then straddle that front foot. You're going to come into a crescent lunge. You can actually use your thigh or your knee to help you with balance as you flip both hands up into crescent lunge. Turn your back foot out once again, and you're in warrior one. Coming back to warrior two, and then straightening out that right knee as you come into triangle pose. Inhale. On exhale, come back into warrior two, turning that right foot forward, standing straddle split. Let's go back into our good morning pose, just for a little breather. Inhale. Exhale, come back up as we turn our left foot out to the side. So warrior two on the other side. Now remember, you can make more space between your 2 feet to get a little more out of this. Rotate to look down your left hand, and you're in warrior two. As we go into peaceful warrior, drop your back hand. Maybe you just come here. Maybe you continue into a reverse warrior and breathe. Breathe 3 breaths here. And remember, you can meditate. You can focus on your intention. Or maybe you just breathe in love of yourself. You know, first we have to love ourselves before we can love others. So just invite that love into your spirit, into your being, so that you can share the love, spread the love. From here, we go right into side angle, dropping the elbow to that bent knee, floating that back hand up, or maybe extended side angle. Gazing down to your big toe, just to be sure that your neck is protected. And then we'll windmill that top hand down into a nice deep runner's squat, turning that back foot to the side, straddling that front foot, and breathe. And from here, we come into crescent lunge, floating the hands all the way up, turning the back foot out again for crescent lunge, and then back into warrior two, straightening that bent knee, and into triangle pose. Bending that knee, coming back up into warrior two, turning that left foot forward so you're back into standing straddle split. Take your hands over your heart center. Take your heels in, take your toes in. Heels, toes, bringing your feet back together so we can go into our balance pose. You can step off your mat, sometimes that helps. Or maybe you stay in your mat because that's more like real life. Out there in the real world, the sidewalks aren't necessarily straight and even. So it's up to you. Maybe you hold on to a table. But you really don't have to because they're doing a progression style. So hands over the heart, stand tall. Lift up your left heel. Maybe you stay there so you don't need to hold on to anything. It's okay to hold on to anything if you need to, though. And then the progression will get a little bit harder, but stay where you need to. So maybe you float the sole of that foot against the inside of your standing leg. Remember to stand tall, to use your breath to stabilize, and to focus on something that's not moving, and to focus on your being, on your spirit, on your intention. And breathe. Stay tall. Inhale on the exhale, release. Drop your hands, relax your arms, shoulder rolls to the back. 3, 2, and 1. Let's move into mountain pose. So flip your palms forward. Let your arms truly just relax down. Sink the soles of your feet into the earth. Wherever you're standing, just press all 4 corners of the soles of your feet into the earth. And close your eyes unless you feel dizzy closing your eyes. And just feel the connection of the soles of the feet to the earth so that you become more grounded. And so your feet are probably separated. Maybe you just kind of press your thighs in towards each other as your knees go away from each other. Maybe you just pull your belly into your spine. Lift your rib cage, lift your heart, close your eyes and breathe. Mountain pose seems so simple and that we're not really doing a lot, but we really are doing a lot. This is really where the mind, body, and spirit come together as a whole. Inhale and exhale. Come on up with your hands over and over heart center. As we move into tree pose on the other side, I always encourage you to change your tree up a little bit. So let your arms come wherever you're comfortable. Maybe you'll be a tall tree, maybe lots of branches, maybe a fat shrub, maybe you're in the wind. It's your tree. Go on and lift up your right heel. Maybe you keep your big toe above your foot on the floor, on the mat. Maybe you can float it up. Some people actually take the sole of their foot and put it into their thigh up high for a traditional tree pose. Let us breathe 5 breaths on this side in tree pose. Feeling the connection of that left foot just pressing into the earth. Remember to focus, to meditate, to breathe. You can use your breath to stabilize, especially the purifying breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, and on the exhale, go on and release. Let's go into standing camel pose, taking your hands behind your hips. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Press your hips forward, gaze down towards your belly. Now, it's contraindicated to roll your head back if you're over 50. I pretend that I'm under 50, and I roll my head back because I know I can do it. It feels okay. And then slowly come back up to standing. So it's so important to listen to your body and your practice. If you're off your mat, come on back to your mat. We're going to go into chair pose, and then we'll go back down to the mat. So in chair pose, again, we ground the soles of our feet to the earth, to the mat. Float your hands up. Feel the energy going through the fingertips, and pretend there's a chair back there. So you don't want your knees going forward, rather you want your hips going to the back. So maybe you prefer the bar stool. Maybe you like the chair, maybe you like a stool. Lift your heart, lift your hands, lift your gaze, and breathe 5 breaths here. Inhale and exhale, stand up. Go on and take your hands all the way around back over heart center as we do some swan dives with breath. Soft knees. Inhale to float the hands up, gaze goes up. Swan dive down, hips go to the back. Flip the palms in front of the knees or the toes, and imagine you're taking a big load of love. Yes, love is the theme for today. And taking it up from heaven into your heart center. Inhale, exhale, swan dive down. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to go back down to the mat. I'm going to show you a Pilates method for going down to the mat. You just kind of cross your ankles, pretend there's a chair back there. Oh goodness, it doesn't show up, does it? So you can just come use your hands, support yourself, and come on down. It's okay to pop. All right, so we're going to take our hands behind our knees. Pull your knees towards your chest. Sit as tall as you can. And you'll feel the long muscles in your back strengthening and lengthening, and maybe it doesn't feel too good because they kind of get tight. But that's okay. That's how we strengthen and challenge those muscles to get a little bit stronger. And then we're going to roll past our tailbones. Roll past your tailbone, holding onto your legs. Pull your belly into your spine. Drop your shoulders. Lift your heart. Lift your chin. Lift your gaze. Lift your legs into tabletop. This is boat pose. You can also take your hands up. Or if you need a little bit of assistance or help for balance, come down here. If you're past your tailbone, you shouldn't have any balance issues, but that's something we work on and just try to practice until we can get to where we're in that comfortable position. And breathe. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale, hands back behind the knees. Hinge forward, grow tall for a nice spine stretch. And the way we will transition onto our mat for our final stretches in Savasana is take your hands back behind your knees and roll back and just lift your feet and see how slow with a rounded spine you can roll back onto your spine. 1 vertebra at a time, dropping the back of your head to the mat, pulling your knees into your chest. If you need a pillow for your head, you can roll your mat up and make a little pillow. Or maybe you have one handy. Bear hug your knees into your chest and gently rock them side to side. Gentle rocking here. And then just kind of loosen up your feet. Kind of shake them. Maybe do some ankle circles. Remember, the slower that you move a joint, the more tension that you release. So how slow can you circle your foot and feel the tension in your ankles? We actually do have a lot of tension in our ankles. Our ankles can get really tight, especially if you're walking or standing all day. We use our feet and our ankles more than we give them credit for. We don't really work them, and we probably should. All right, just kind of shake your feet. Be sure they're hanging down. They're not all stiff. You want them hanging down. Bring your hands on top of your knees and pull your knees up, out, and around. So big knee circles. This is going to help to loosen up the hip joint, release synovial fluid in the hip flexors and the hip joint, and just go slow. Remember, the slower and the bigger you move, the better. And switch the direction of your circles. Let's go to Happy Baby. We haven't done that in a few weeks. Pull your left knee to your left shoulder or armpit and your right knee to your right. You're in a modified Happy Baby where you can stay. Or if you want to go into full Happy Baby, lift your big toes up over your knees, grab hold of your big toes. And now you're in a full Happy Baby. Even though I really haven't seen my new grandson doing this, but I bet he could. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe you straighten your legs out. Or not. And breathe. Maybe you rock side to side for a little massage on the lower back. And from Happy Baby, we're going to go into legs up the wall. So just bring your legs up the wall as though they were sitting against the wall and your body was in a 90-degree bend right at the hips. Let your legs be weightless while your body is grounded. Just let the blood flow from the feet towards your hips, towards the mat, which is the opposite of when we're standing. So it should feel really good. Should be very restoring. Close your eyes and just be grounded through the body and weightless through the legs. Like we're running out of time, so let's float the soles of the feet down to the mat. Let your hands go out to a T. Let your legs fall to the floor on the left. Inhale. On the exhale, come to the center and let the knees fall to the floor on the right. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that one more time to the left. Go slow. And center and to the right. And center, and soles of the feet come together, supine butterfly. Let the knees fall away from each other. Close your eyes. You're in final Savasana. Flip the palms up. If you prefer to straighten your legs in final Savasana, you can, or you can stay in the supine butterfly. If you're in supine butterfly and your lower back doesn't feel good, you can try pressing your lower back into the mat, pull your belly into your spine, and you're going to release any tension you feel in that lower back. So be in your most comfortable position as we go into final Savasana, final relaxation. Relax your entire body. Close your eyes and just melt into your mat. This is a time where we can restore our mind, body, and spirit. It is the most important part of our practice. The more that you can relax in Savasana, the more energy that will flow through your body. So let us just relax. Just melt into your mat and breathe. Relaxing your feet and your legs, behind your knees, your buttocks. Relaxing your back, your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, even your shoulders. And your arms, the insides of your elbows, the insides of your wrists, the palms of your hands, your fingers and thumbs, all the way into your hip bones and your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage, your chest, your neck, your scalp, and all the muscles in your face. Relax them and breathe. Maybe as you are relaxing, go into that purifying, intentional breath pattern. Inhaling as long and deep as you can in through the nose, so deep your belly rises high. Pause. And then as you exhale, make the longest exhale that you can, exhaling all that old air, exhaling through the mouth. Should sound something like this. And your exhale, maybe make a sh sound. Try it. I think you will feel the benefits of a purifying breath as you inhale long and deep and pause. Long exhale through the mouth. Continue to breathe and to relax. As maybe we open our hearts and let our hearts be filled with love. Love of ourselves. You are loved from above. We are all loved. We are all made in God's image and He loves us. May your hearts be filled with love of yourself and love of others so that we can just spread the love, as Michael said in his devotion. Let's choose love over unforgiveness, over hate, over sadness, over all the things that can just pull us away from that beautiful, beautiful gift that we have, love. May your whole being, mind, body, and spirit just be filled with love. Love of yourself and love of others. On the next breath, maybe roll over onto your side, someone in a fetal position, representing renewal, as we slowly transition up to a seated position, the way we began our practice. Closing our eyes and lifting up prayer. For anyone that has a prayer request, you can just yell it out in your room, or you can yell it out silently. We can pray for each other in the spirit. If you jot it down in the comment section, we have a prayer team that will pray your prayer requests throughout the week. We invite you to pray for each other. Let us pray. On the next breath, let's lift our heart, lift our eyes, take our arms out long with our palms up. I hope you enjoyed your practice today, and I hope that you feel renewed and restored and just full of love in your heart. Inhale to float the hands up, exhale, hands over, heart center. Namaste, and let Pastor Michael close us with the Lord's Prayer.
Amen. Thank you, Karen. Everybody, let's show some social media love, some appreciation to Karen for leading us today. Amazing as always. And we're grateful that we had this opportunity to be with you. So what we're going to do is this prayer called the Lord's Prayer. It's a prayer that Jesus taught his disciples. But it's a prayer that's prayed by a lot of people, not always just Christian people, either at lots of recovery groups and public events and all kinds of things. It's kind of a universal family prayer for all of humanity. So if you're comfortable, you can join us in it and pray it out loud with us. If not, just send some positive vibes as we close our time today. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen and amen. Hey, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.